Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, know your nation, know yourself. Okay, we are back here, and we are the power of four. It is the OGs. It's the old crew. I've got my papers here ready, but I've still not been quite able to have time to check everything out. There is too much going on, folks, and I do have a little announcement to make at the end of the show. But let's start. So, of course, to my side now. Should I point this way or this way?
Other
That
way.
way. The other way.
I might
That
have to
way.
go this way.
That's it.
That's it. No.
And
Yeah.
of course, you see, Lady G is on her adventures and travels, wearing some lovely kind of sort of teal, lovely top there. Where are the puppies? Where are the babies? I don't see the fur babies. Are they sleeping?
They're nodding. They're on their bed, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
All right. I think they're used to our voices now, so hopefully it would be all good. And then that means I have to go like this. Then that means
Yes.
down this way. Is Sheila looking lovely as always, and thanks so much for joining us. And kind of sort of like, this is grey. I don't think I've seen you wear grey before. So
No,
like
I'm trying new colors, Hogarth. I'm trying new colors. I'm breaking out of my norm.
Oh, it's all good. And of course, down under, of course, Sheila. She is the poster girl for primary colors, folks. You know, and we see, as you see here, I've got glasses, lip, and shirt. So
Yes.
I need
Moi.
Indeed. So I need a little second just to scan the questions. Not too many, thank goodness. And ladies, starting with Lady G, Sheila, and Lena, tell me, how are you feeling? How have these eclipses been for you? Because I feel like they've been an absolute shocker. Lady G, you go first as I just rummage through the questions.
I feel you, Lena.
Oh,
Throw the hand grenade in there.
it was insane. Exhausted. Just felt ungrounded, exhausted, and for a number of days. And like, what planet am I on?
Yes. Can I have a new address, please?
Oh my God, yeah. Tell me about it. And thank you, Ganga. And Sheila, how's this eclipse been treating you so far?
Well, it's been bizarre. That's for sure. But I'll tell you an example. Like right before we get on here, I'm shuffling my cards. My card literally leapt up in the air and went everywhere. I'm like, what kind of energy are we getting into tonight? And I'm like, this describes this last month in a nutshell. I mean, bam, we have no idea. Whatever hits the floor, that's what you're going to get today, Sheila.
Yeah.
So yeah, that explains a lot.
Oh, I can well believe, and thank you so much. And Lena, how's the eclipse been treating you so far?
Well, it's been a radical roller coaster ride, hasn't it? It's just overkill in a way. So, using a sporting example, one of the top teams, they're second on the ladder of AFL. We're heading into the final season. And they went out and hired a lap dancer after the game and then didn't pay her for extra services. So she went out. Now there's a scandal. And 5 of our top footballers have been banned for the rest of the season. Now, why I'm telling that story in terms of the eclipses, his teammates or their teammates will never forgive them for this, right? They're right on the brink of playing finals and they've lost their top 5 players. And what I'm trying to say is the retribution or the consequences and stuff of actions are not protecting the richest and the best, like everyone's having a crisis.
My goodness. Let me just see here. Let me just put this as a 5, and this one here, 6. Yeah, let me tell you, obviously you guys know that I am a Neo-Vedic astrologer, and there are eclipses sometimes where not much happens and you think, big deal. Yeah, big deal. And then there are certain eclipses where everything happens, and I feel like this has been one of these everything eclipses. I do have something to share at the end, and I think it's just been an absolute shocker. I think it's just been an absolute shocker.
It's been so intense, so full.
Very, very intense. And the thing is, ladies and viewers, just so you know, we are, I don't even want to say this, we are between the eclipses, because we've had the solar eclipse, and then I think it's on the 27/28th, we have the lunar eclipse. So it's not done yet. And then you get 3 months of revelations after that. Maybe it settles down a little bit. And then the next eclipse season comes, which I think isn't it in October or something like that? I think it's in October. And which is October, November, just in time for the midterms, eh? So I just feel like we're living in a giant Hopi prophecy right now. But anyway, I'm trying to stay positive. All right, so let's start straight away. This is an interesting one. So we'll do one card pull as usual. Lady G will be going first, and we'll go clockwise. So Nick Minx has asked this one, and it's nice and short and sweet. She says, former Ukraine defense minister has called for elections to be held. Will Zelensky bow to pressure if public support this? And would he win? Ooh, juicy.
That's kind of two questions, actually.
It is, isn't it? So
he's called for it. Does that mean that it's going to happen?
We don't know. I don't know their
politics. I was just asking, if somebody calls for it, does that mean it's going to happen, or is it he's just asking for it?
I think it's up to Zelensky whether he holds the hard man line and just goes, no, we're at war and not, or whether he'll feel that pressure, which is what I think the question's about.
Okay.
Will he feel pressure to have to do it?
Okay. Yeah, let's phrase it in that way. Basically, will Zelensky, let me just make sure my cards are the right way up. Oh, gee whiz, un momento. Oh, my hands are shaking. I feel butterflies tonight.
Hogarth, it's the energy. Your cards, my cards.
Oh my God, yeah. Lot going on. All right, so let's phrase it like, look, will Zelensky give in to the pressure that's been put on him and go for the elections? Yeah, and then I think amongst the cards we'll probably find out what may happen. So as usual,
Zelensky.
One card pull. I will go off 3.
Okay.
All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! Look at this.
All right.
Okay. Lady G, what card do you have?
Well, I've got the card of what's being handed out realistically, but I pulled another one, and it's a collaboration. So I'm not sure who he's going to be working with when it comes to making the decision on this. But it looks like he's going to be collaborating with someone to make the decision whether they're going to go ahead and have the election or not.
Wow. And can I just ask you, Lady G, was that the 5 of Pentacles or the 3 of Pentacles?
Neither. It's the 6.
Oh, yeah, you can only see the 3 on the camera, sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's a 6. So what's being weighed out, what they're handing out in a collaboration. So I don't think it's just up to him himself. I think he's got to, weigh it out with someone else, with some other people.
Thank you. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got the emotional Six of Cups, right? The emotional Six of Cups. And what it says on there, it says, what kind of comforts will he be returning to? He's almost like, why can't I just stick this out all the way to the end? What am I going to return to? There's no normal to return to. I'm going to be worried about the war just as much as anybody else is. I kind of feel like in this picture, you can kind of see them, like maybe it's husband and wife sitting there looking at all of those emotional options peacefully, calmly, like, what am I going to do unless I'm here fighting for Ukraine? So he may just say no. It's kind of what I feel like. It's an emotional option for him.
Wow, thank you. And Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the Devil card turns up here, right? So I think it seems strange for this demand to be made now, because Ukraine, given that it's what we would call a dad's army, right? It wasn't just a war machine that got rolled out in response to Russia. This is the people of Ukraine have done this. I don't think they're screaming for an election at this point, and strategically they're making inroads into Russia. So I think Zelensky feels very let down by this demand, and I don't think he wants to do it. He thinks we're chained here till the end of this. We cannot let them off the hook at this point, you know. So, yeah, that's my take.
Right. Thank you so much. Well, as you go, oh gosh, let me turn my camera to the side, because I know some people would say, okay, the reflection is too much. Remember as well, I do start my shows at midnight, folks, so it's dark. Yeah, I need to have a light on. But if we look here, so I'll just shade this a little bit. I'm sure you can clearly see that this is the Empress. Yeah, we got the Empress here. Now, you guys know this is my card for who? Yeah, Russia. Yeah. So it obviously nothing can happen politically in Ukraine without obviously Russia trying to have some kind of influence over it. It was that way before the war, especially so now. I do find the timing of this curious, because from what I understand, isn't it just the case that Ukraine has unleashed with, I think it's 620 drones or something. I think they're reporting it on Midas Touch. To Moscow. Devastating. So clearly this says to us all that Ukraine is becoming more effective, not less effective.
Yes.
So if they are kind of winning the war, why would this be the time to change the dear leader at this time? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I cannot help but think, obviously, this might be one of Russia's quite desperate attempts to pull all the levers that they have to get what they want. And there seems to be agreement in there as well. Oh, thank you so much. Guild time for membership. Thank you. Sherry says Zelensky should just wait until next year. Russia's almost done, she says. I think that's a fair point. I don't think they can last for much longer, particularly when the nodes of the moon change and they start going into Putinshka's axis. It's going to be tricky. Someone said they got the Six of Swords, which of course is moving to smoother waters. Jeanette says, my question is it the people of Ukraine asking for elections, or is it Russia and the US? Again, very valid point. And JDK says, I can't wait for August to end. Basement flooded. Oh, bless you. The eclipses happened in sidereal Cancer, by the way, which is a water sign, so we can deal with water and events. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Shall we go on to the next question? Well, actually, look, this segues in, actually. This makes sense. Question number 2. This is coming from Millie. Thanks so much, Millie, for your question. They say, hi, Hogarth and ladies. Over 650 drones manufactured in the UK were used in a recent onslaught on Moscow, and Putin has threatened to attack London as retaliation. Remember, you guys know I live in London. Can you tell us what the cards say on this? So, Sheila, you're going first, clockwise. Is this genuine? Will Putinshka try to attack London in retaliation for these British-made drones?
Will Russia attack on them? Okay.
Let's see. Oh. After 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Well, I got the sun.
Sun and the moon.
The sun and the moon. Yep. Well, we could say, you know, in 24 hours, things could change. I mean, the sun and the moon. That's what kind of came to my mind. So the success and the happiness and the prosperity. So what you're asking is are they going to piss off Putin enough or he's going to retaliate, right? However, whoever's doing the pissing off, they're the ones that are going to be successful. And I have a feeling, because we got the moon with it, and you know how we read with all of them, the people who are pissing him off, I can't remember exactly who you were talking about.
What Zelensky?
Zelensky.
No, Putin.
Well, it was Ukraine. If Ukraine did something, Putin was going to go after London because of Zelensky's thing. Well, anyways, I'm sorry.
Well, British-made drones. So apparently
British-made
drones. Yeah.
Well, they're gonna. I think that Zelensky is gonna have success over that, and I really do believe that it's almost like him. Like, don't do it. But you broke my toy. You know what I mean? Now we can't do anything. Yeah. I just kind of have that whole feeling. It's just hoopla, like normal hoopla. I just don't believe that it's substantial to mine. And that's what I get.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Yeah, well, with the moon, where you've got the domestic dog and the wild dog, it's like Putin is now a cornered man in all sorts of ways prior to this. But this is impacting his pride, his imperial dream. And because he's desperate, he's saying that to try and gee up Russians behind him desperately. But with the moon, nothing's clear. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as a retaliation strike or anything like that. I think this is just going to murky the waters in Russia much further.
That's fascinating. Thanks so much. Well, my card, now this is interesting here. So let me just turn this to the side again. Let's get this here so you can see. This is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Now, this is interesting because this card is normally associated with seduction of all things. When I'm reading on this card, I also see this card as the card of diplomacy. In a way, it can also trying to show a different face, a softer face, or trying to make some kind of offer. So could it be, in the sense, obviously Russia is very pissed off that UK is providing, we are providing, obviously, these drones. However, as Andy Burnham said, it has been no secret that the UK is committed to supporting Ukraine from the get-go. And that's the one thread that has linked all of our prime ministers so far in the revolving door of prime ministers we've had in this country. So I feel like Putin's in trouble. This isn't waving the white flag, but he may have to soften, because once you've been attacked, what this tells us, if it's 650 drones, 620, 650, it doesn't matter. It's in the multiple hundreds. They obviously can no longer defend themselves adequately. Time for him to soften his language, I think. Lady G?
Well, I've got the 5 of cacti, and in this deck, he is really out in the cold. The meat is off the bones, and he's at death's door. So I would say, no.
Yeah.
Is he acting like that cowhead?
Wow. Meat off the bones. Bless, bless, bless. Wow. Just got some more feed in terms of people pulling cards and also giving their contributions as well. So if we look here, oh, thank you, Sarah. That's very kind of you. Much, much appreciated. Says Wingfield says, I hope Zelensky stays. They have the momentum. Don't change a thing. Or as they say, don't change a winning strategy. Is the classic one, isn't it, in tennis? You know, Lena will know that. Carrie says, my King of Swords made me feel like Mr. Zelensky is addressing the situation logically. That's also a good one. Manwich says, Russia sure seems to have a lot of dollars to throw around. The orange diaper bag removed their sanctions and they are doing their BS interfering with other countries. That's also a good point as well. You know, and then what is there? And then Jeanette says, oh, sorry for blocking you, ladies. There's a planetary alignment coming in August that directly affects Dutlarange and his family. According to astrologers, what does my 4 favorite tarot readers see? We'll try and maybe squeeze that in. Let's just see what's up for Trump family. And I think I know the astrologer they are referring to. Big hair. Big hair, very, very famous astrologer. Ladies, are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right, now we're going to a completely different place in our esoteric aeroplane, and I just thought it's a little bit long, but I thought no, it merits a read. Because I was just curious about it, because we have never read on this country yet, and it is a very tiny country. Anyway, so now we're going to Liechtenstein. Yeah. So this is coming from Renvij. Thanks very much. Renvij. So I hope I've said that right. Hi, Hogarth. My question, and ladies, my question is about a really small country called the Principality of Liechtenstein. Currently, the women of Liechtenstein can't do abortion in their country. I didn't know that, because it's not legalized. Because of that, the women of Liechtenstein do their abortions either in Austria or Switzerland. Not Australia. That's a long way to fly.
No.
You'll give birth by the time you arrive.
Yes.
In November 2026, the people of Liechtenstein are. In November of 2026, the people of Liechtenstein are going to vote whether abortion should be legalized or not. Here comes the catch, they say. The current regent and heir apparent of Liechtenstein has a veto power. Ooh, so that's real meat in terms of the monarchy there. Wow. He already made a threat that he is going to use that power if the people will vote yes for legalization of abortion. Is he going to do that? That is a question, isn't it? And thank you, Renjiv, for bringing in Liechtenstein. I don't think we've ever read on them before.
No, I don't think we have. And my only association with it is as a tax haven. I don't know if it has other things it produces, but
I know it's very wealthy and tax haven, and I think it's mainly financial services and stuff like that. Yes. Very high standard of living, as you can imagine, but I didn't know they were so conservative. All right. Liechtenstein. So this time, Lena going first. Liechtenstein. Will the regents overthrow? Okay, sorry, a bit late. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Lena, how'd you interpret that?
Queen of Cups for this issue, I think he's got an issue with it, obviously, because most European countries do allow abortion, and it's the conversations at a quite elevated level. So he's got personal issues, probably a Catholic mother or something as basic as that. But here we go, speaking of mothers, the women of Liechtenstein aren't going to tolerate a no, I would suggest. So he's got to watch himself, because it would be considered an abuse of his power by the women of Liechtenstein.
Wow. Thank you so much. Here, this is interesting. I've got here the Page of Pentacles. So, I mean, is there going to be some backhander? Can they palm him off with some money? I mean, it's maybe an overly simplistic way of looking at it, but it's kind of like Liechtenstein is actually a very wealthy country. Maybe there could be, in terms of getting the vote the right way in favor of women, maybe there's some economic argument that is made. In terms of if these women are having to travel to Switzerland and to Austria, there might be some kind of economic argument made, maybe saying, look, women shouldn't be having to pay this much money to get these kind of things, to look after their own bodies. So I was a little bit flippant at the start, but I think this is someone making the argument that the women of Liechtenstein should not have to pay so much to deal with their own birth control in that way. Lady G?
Well, I decided I would use my Lenormand deck, and so I would use also the galactic symbols. And what I got is this future thing for him. It's a temptation. But since it's a temptation, I don't think he's going to follow through with it. As Lena said, the women would just, there would be a huge, huge backlash if he vetoed it.
Agreed. And Sheila, thank you, Lady G. Sheila, what do you have?
Well, I have the Two of Wands, and as you can see, the guy is sitting there in front of a gaping hole. See, the earth is cut out. He's firm in his decision. However, the part about that is they are very rich, but they don't have a lot of people there. And so what he's wanting to do is like, I'm not going to do abortion. Why? Because we need more people. We cannot go down in numbers of the people that live here. Where are we going to do? What are we going to do? And it's predominantly Catholic. So that was just my second card as the Ace of Swords. However, I just don't see this problem with, he's not going to do anything about it. However, the Ace of Swords may give them a little bit of a push and some clarity and some understanding with whatever's going on. It's almost like a whole country is going to start waking up a lot more. I mean, they've been at it since like 2011. Trying to get this abortion thing, so they've been at it for quite some time. But who knows? But he's not budging. He's firm, as the picture says. He's firm.
Yeah.
No crossing that line. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks so much. And Liechtenstein is a very small country, so it really, it is a principality in effect. That's how small it is. So obviously the prince still has quite a strong effect. It's almost like the Prince of Monaco. He has an incredible impact, and very, very interesting. Let's see if there's a few more insights here. We'll get onto this. Ivy says, Trump is quite insane now. Construction on ballroom continues 24/7 despite judges' orders. Will he finish this monstrosity before he can be stopped? You've heard me say before, I don't think the law is being applied anymore. I just think the guy needs to have something interesting happen to him. Yeah, let's just put it that way without saying it that way.
We're calling it we need a Lindsey Graham moment. That's what we're saying, because We didn't think he was going to go.
Yeah, a Lindsey Graham moment, or maybe a Mitch McConnell moment, you know, just going somewhere quietly and never being seen again. Yeah, just pictures of AI of Melania photoshopped in, even though she's gone completely AWOL. So they might have to do a Photoshop of the Photoshop to try and get a modern, up-to-date picture, because she's been gone that long. But anyway, let's look at, are we ready for the next question?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is coming from Jerry Geld, and now we're going to Canada. And this, of course, is very relevant. It is Trump connected because it's talking about tariffs. So she says, hello, terrific team. The felon tacoed. Oh, wait, the felon tacoed on his 50% tariff threat against Canada, giving a 3-day reprieve so a trade deal could be signed. Why does anyone pay attention to Trump? Anyway, never mind. Carney said no deal had been reached yet. What will happen at the end of this 3-day deadline? So oh my goodness. So this time me going first. Trump's tacoed again on Canada. For me, the way I just see it, like before I pull the cards, I just see this as Trump's money-raising exercise. Bring the market up, bring the market down. Bring the market up, bring the market down.
Yeah.
It's just lunatic stuff. All right, Duck L'Orange. After the 3 days, what will happen? All right, let's have a look. After 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, here we go. All right, so what do I have here? I've got the 10 of Wands, yeah? You know what? I just feel like this is the tariff saga without end. Maybe Duck L'Orange could be put on a ship and sent somewhere, you know, or something like that. I think, as you can see here, the 10 of Wands is hard work, but it's also as well, it's work that's being done inefficiently. I'm starting to think that this tariff stuff has really got nothing to do now with economic policy. I think it's about agitation. I think it is about distraction. I think it's just to increase the burden of work on so many things and just basically to keep everyone off balance. I don't even think it's even economic anymore. I think it's just to add to the burden. That's my take on that 10 of Wands. Lady G?
Well, I've got the card of the message about an action, but, you know, it's with him. It's just that back and forth, just to keep things going. I mean, just irritating. That's it. Just irritation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling as well. Thanks so much. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune turns round and round and round. He needs to buy stock, so he needs to lower it for a little while, so then he can bring it back up. And you know what I mean? I just have a feeling that it literally has everything to do with that kind of a thing nowadays, because the tariffs, remember they did the tariffs and the stock market just fell and fell and fell and fell. So many people bought in at that time, and then it raised back up and everybody made millions. And it just feels a lot like that's what he's doing. He could care less the fallout of anybody else's business. He could care less of who it hurts or anything like that. He's just on his little phone buying stocks. I truly believe that now.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Sheila. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, here we go in the circle. And it was like Lady G was just saying too, just back and forth, round and round. You know, you cannot actually make a deal with this man. That is the point. It's not about Canada being willing or unwilling or anything else. No one can make a deal that he'll stick with past lunchtime. Right? You know, you can't actually trust him. And so I think it almost doesn't matter whether he does or doesn't, because Canada is making other plans, which is very wise. And who'll miss out ultimately is American states that are dependent on goods from Canada, which is a lot of states.
Yeah.
And for all this building of data centers and stuff, I mean, they need so many things from Canada, you know, and so as long as he's going along and saying, and scratching his lower regions, it's not moving forward. Not moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can well understand that. I want to say thank you as well, Alison. Blessings to you all. The shadow banning is rampant. Yeah, that's another thing as well. That's another thing. Absolutely. Oh God, it's just, isn't it just bonkers, ladies? Like sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and just go, is this really the world? Is this really what is going on right now?
Is this the best we can do?
Yeah.
Is this our watermark? That's what I keep on asking. Is this our watermark? Is this where we get to the watermark and we had to go back down? Was it? Did we hit our watermark?
Yeah, just absolutely bonkers. All right, so ladies, are we ready for the next question?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so this is interesting. So now we're going in our esoteric aeroplane. We're all over the world tonight. We're going to Brazil, but this is a good one. Nick Minks again, but again, short and sweet. All right, President Lula in Brazil stands for re-election in October. Do the cards show if he will be successful, or will Brazil follow other countries and select a more right-leaning candidate? That right-leaning candidate, as far as I'm aware, has already been selected, and apparently it's going to be Bolsonaro's son. I think they might be lining up. Might be lining up. But let's see. Will Brazil re-elect Lula, President Lula, or will they go for a more right-leaning candidate, which of course is what the current regime wants? And oh gosh, I went first last time, so is it you again, Lady G? First, yeah. All right. 1 second. Will they go Lula or will they go to the far right? Oh God, meddling. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh God. Lady G?
Well, I've got the 2 of flames, so I don't think they've decided yet. They're trying to figure out their next move, the next action. So I don't think, I think at this point they're juggling things. They haven't decided what direction they're going.
Thank you. Sheila, how do you interpret
Yeah,
your
mine concurs with Lady G. You know, the Knight of Cups, he's in a battle. He's reeling up and they're trying to maneuver. The Cups is promising because Cups are usually democratic or whatever, but they're still embattled. I think they're trying to head in and trying to figure out what the next strategic move is.
And there was nighttime on that card as well, which could suggest, you know, something darker perhaps.
Yeah.
Wow. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, Wheel of Fortune. Brazil, your future is in your hands.
Yeah.
And so I think with the Bolsonaro dynasty that they'll pull all the stops out. But I'm not sure they'll get over the line. I'm hoping this means that the people will see through it and act in their own best interests long term.
Yeah, indeed, I agree. And my card is pretty straightforward, isn't it? It's the 7. It's the 7 of Swords. So the regime is going to go in and basically try and steal it.
Try and steal it because they can't win it, so they'll try and steal it.
They're going to try and steal it. They're going to try and put people in, because we notice as well with the 7 of Swords, he doesn't get every single sword, but he picks up 5, and the idea is to weaken the camp. So what this tells me is that the regime is going to put its men and women on the grounds to try and weaken Brazil from the inside out. Maybe not make it too obvious, but kind of like get some key districts. But this for me is the absolutely the potential theft of the regime. So Keep your eyes open, Brazil. Protect yourself and protect your elections because they're going to try and corrupt them. Oh, anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
No.
All right. Okay, no problem. Let's just see here. What is this? What's this here? Oh, sorry. Oh, God, it's cut off your face again. Isabel says, I would, however, give him credit for bringing so much attention to Canada. The world now knows how decent and good and loving people we are. As of 9/11, Eastern Canada was not in our love to all. Okay, so there's that. So yeah, there is an element of that. And someone's saying here, Ingrid says, Lady G cracked me up. So Lady G, you did something funny. She does have a very dry sense of humor, by the way. And she's a straight shooter, folks. Let's put it that way. She's a straight shooter. Someone adding here, Camille says, Russians are withdrawing their dollars from the banks, which of course is always a bit of a danger sign. Remember too as well that I've been saying, guys, remember when Neptune and Saturn are together, it's always difficult for Russia, and they have, even though some sanctions have been dropped, it's been more bad than good for them. I mean, it's been pretty disaster, really, hasn't it? And what's this here? Winnie Boo says China doesn't need military to take over Taiwan at this point, just diplomacy and deals that tie them together. Yeah. Now, do you remember what I said about China? I said China will win by doing nothing.
Through all this, yes.
Yeah. All they have to do is nothing. And Taiwan will reach that conclusion themselves because obviously all their weapons that were used for defense have now disappeared up the Strait of Hormuz. So
yes.
all they have to do is sit and wait. All right, we got a little question here. Let's have a little flight of fancy. Let's do a full card pull actually, because we've actually got plenty of time for once. So you remember that question that came in about the Trump family? What's going to happen with them? Let's just see. Let me just see if I can find it again. So here we are. Click on this again. Oh, sorry, ladies. You're going to have to stand up a little bit. The banner's too big.
Don't worry.
There is a planetary alignment coming on August 22nd that directly affects Dr. Larange and his family, according to astrologers. What does my 4 favorite tarot readers see? So let's do, this gives us a chance to settle in. Let's do a full card pull, folks. And let's just see what is going on. We know that they've been grifting. We know that there's some bank. They're going to get some kind of bank status. Trump has made, what is it, between conservative estimates from $4 to $8 billion since being in office. So let's do this full card full. What's going on with the Trump family, and is there some revelation or something like that? Oh, I've got a card twist out. That could be affecting them on August 22nd.
22nd, love it.
Who's going first?
This here from Raymond in the comments while we're shuffling.
Oh.
It's a quote from Napoleon. War is when your government tells you who the enemy is. Revolution is when you figure it out yourself.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Oh my gosh. Who's going first on this one? I've lost track. Is it Sheila now? I think it's Sheila going first on this one. Yeah. All right. Full card pull. All right. Trump family, August 2022. August 22nd. Oh my God. They make banana republics look modest.
They do.
Honestly, I think every tin pot dictator around the world was like, I showed too much restraint.
Yes.
I should have done more.
Yes.
That's how I'd be feeling. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. My cards are being a little cutthroat over here.
Okay.
All right. What do you have for us, Sheila, when you're ready?
All right. Well, the first card up, I got the moon. Whatever feels uncertain, but ask for trust. So I got the moon. Now, the moon, Yeah, the moon has a few things for me. Moon is what can be done underneath the darkness, but yet the moonlight is still shining on your problems and what's going on. It's almost like, being led by the moon, but I got justice. So at some point in time, whatever is underneath in that moon and whatever is being illuminated and under darkness, the justice is going to show up. Now, do we think that we're going to have handcuffs and he's going to be thrown in jail? No, but justice comes in so many different ways. We also got the Empress, but the Empress, in these cards, the Empress is whatever is being denied myself and feels selfish. So this Empress is feeling a little selfish, but I also get this word with it. So there's a lot of meaning in that, like the selfishness. It's like they get cut off, they get knocked down, they get blocked, they get, there's a whole bunch of things that people are just not going to tolerate. Well, we got the world is watching the neglect and the abuse. The world is watching. It's like they can convince the red hats here in the United States, but they can't convince the people in the world that, there's no MAGA in the world that they can convince. So they're not having any prospects problems or anything like that outside of the United States, pretty much. Or they are having problems. Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is pretty, they're collaborating. They're trying to figure it out. How can we do this? But my final card for the whole thing is dismemberment. They are going to be ripped apart. And in any way possible, their whole problems, their whole thoughts, their whole plan is going to be ripped apart, which is very, very, very good news on that. And then we have to do reconstruction after this is all done over with because of all the damage that they have done. So that's what I got.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lena,
may it come to pass. Yes. Well, I've got big cards here. It starts with the Hangman, which in this context I think is, because it goes with the next two cards, how their perspective, and it's a golden halo. So when you're dealing with grasping people like this, it's like calculating how can I maximize my return for this. What is that about? Well, it's about their father, the King of Cups, because the King of Cups used to be my Biden card, a man who's emotionally in touch, etc. But a King of Cups who's turned on that. The dark side of the King of Cups is emotional manipulation.
Yeah,
they've had this all their lives, and Hogarth, you christened the star card the narcissist card, because they've grown up with this man. That's all they see, right? Now, here comes the moon card, meaning what they've been doing in the dead of night. There's enough illumination now to actually take them on. There's enough legal infringement. There's been enough investigative journalism, that it's going to be revealed, possibly with the eclipse here.
Ooh.
They're going to symbolically walk away. Maybe they'll all go to Mars. Wouldn't that be heaven? But symbolically, they're going to walk away and say, it wasn't me. It was the shell company. It was, everyone else, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But here comes the Hierophant. So longer term, I think they're going to be done for some of this behavior that they seem to get away with now. Can't come too soon. Okay, that's me.
Wow. Okay, well, I've got some very interesting cards, and I do have some overlaps with Sheila and Lena, and then of course I have to see what Lady G pulls. I'm just going to read and then let me know what you think of the story, because it's quite interesting. I think I see what may happen. All right, so first card out here is the Four of Pentacles. This is the one that fell out. So what's the Four of Pentacles? Obviously, they're not poor, but it's about what? Preserving a position, preserving a status. They are what? Shoring themselves up. They are wanting to protect themselves. I think this is also a big reason as well why they've You know, they've attacked that international judge. You know, Trump put sanctions on that international judge, that Japanese woman.
Judge.
You know, because they're obviously trying to what? Protect themselves, because they know that they're vulnerable. So as rich as they are, they're also looking to what? Dig their bunkers, find their islands, and do all of this kind of stuff. So I don't think they have that much faith in their own future as a family. Now, look, I don't want everyone to get too excited by this card, but as you know, I associate, the Four of Swords for me is more the death card than the actual death card itself. So maybe there's someone, a certain someone, who exits stage left. But given these eclipses, you never know who it's going to be. And very often, you know what it's like? The one you want to go is not the one that goes at all.
Yes, that's right.
I always say evil is a good preservative, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It just is. So, but look, there could be someone in the Trump family. It could even be someone that we don't expect, that either leaves Earth or has to be retired or exit stage left. We would like to think it's the orange one, but could it be Melania? I mean, she's barely been seen. Maybe she's got a body double going on and she's run off with her.
It could be Don Jr. having to go to rehab, like having to go.
Could be that as well. But there's the sense I'm getting is that there may be a family member. It doesn't necessarily mean it's Duck L'Orange, but someone's going to be retired, or put to the side. We all know who we want it to be, but we're in eclipse season. It may not be who we expect it to be. If we look here, we've got the Strength card. So digging deep. And this is also as well is associated with Leo, of course, because it's a lion. We all know as well, Duck L'Orange is what? A Leo ascendant. So they're actually looking rather coordinated, I must say, at the moment. No one seems to be cussing each other out. I think the rampant greed and maybe, you know, the billions, I think they've paid a few debts and stuff and are probably feeling quite emboldened and quite strong. They certainly seem more unified than before. If we look here, though, things will move quickly. Things moving through the air. Now, you know, I also associate the Eight of Wands with missiles through the air. So this could literally be some turnaround in Strait of Hormuz, or maybe one of them is caught up in a bit of crossfire. Ooh, could that be why someone is retired or makes a little visit to the stone places with glass windows? But when we look here, I also get the Eight of Cups. So there is an element, someone is leaving the family. Will it be Melania declaring divorce? Probably not, because I think, you know, she's paid up and, you know, what have you. But I do get the sense someone is leaving. But of course, what is the Trump family's response to any kind of someone leaving or defeat? They're like, right, let's get busy on the next grift. They're just going to work on the next grift. This is what they're working on. Real estate, you know, Trump Gaza, you know, Iceland, whatever projects the Mad King has got up to, they are busying away, you know. And then I pulled some clarifiers. Ace of Wands, fertile new beginnings, big projects and stuff like that. What is it all about? Ace of Pentacles, as always, money, just enriching themselves. And then here, unfortunately, we do have the Victory card, so I do have to say what I see. I think there's going to be some kind of correction or loss potentially in the family. Someone may have to step back, but the instinct within them for graft and grift is so strong. I think they're just going to march over the dead body and carry on. Lady G?
Well, what's driving the reading is a lot of pain coming in. And I think it's information that's coming in that's going to be extremely painful. Because what we have is first card out, readings about stinky fish, messages coming out about what leadership. Above it, the lid is off and it's coming out to the public. The swords are coming down. So more and more is going to be taking them out. So what we have now, things are in motion. And the challenge is there is a charging forward with information and into battle. taking more control when it comes to Democrats. So they're really in the fight, going to be having more and more lawsuits, more and more things coming in. Potential outcome are the choices they've made in life. Outside influence is the whole family drama. Above it, what's being shared when it comes to the unfruitful harvest. So it looks like more with this eclipse coming in, more Democrats are going to be in the fight. And so more and more is just going to keep coming down for them. Like you see, Katie Fang is in there when it comes to Blanche, and she's really stirring it up and getting this stuff. But I think a lot more Democrats are going to be on the bandwagon, and we see more and more of Republicans jumping ship now. They're just leaving droves now because they see the writing on the wall, what's coming, and especially amping up what's coming for the midterms. So they are just, more's going to be coming in, and more pain for the Trump clan.
Wow. Fascinating. And there is so much going on. One thing, look at this. Yeah, look what's at the base of the deck. Yeah, the nine of swords. They can't keep on this run, really, can they? They just can't. The pressure is building up too much. We're seeing more and more progressive Democrats winning, aren't we? If I remember correctly, isn't it? It's a bit more of the ones. It's not the usual, shall we say, corporate Dems. Just to be polite, it seems like the further to the left seems to be doing better. So this is, of course, encouraging. And we'll have to see how it goes. But that corruption is so deep, and of course now they've got the money for those bribes and all of that kind of stuff. So one does have to think about that. But I think I'm going with the group on this one, ladies. I think you're collectively. I think and also as well, even my own cards were saying someone has to leave the show. Someone has to trip up. Someone's probably going to get caught out by something, and I don't think they come out of this completely unscathed. But I think they're going to try and grift to the very end. Anything else to add to that, ladies, before I make a little announcement?
No.
Well, I did want to mention that.
Go ahead, Sheila.
No, Lady G, go first.
Okay, well, one thing that's going on is when it comes to their tax, and he's trying to give them this tax thing, all the ones that work in that genre of working on the taxes have filed suit against them as well. They owe hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes, and so the tax department is actually going after them big time.
Yes, I think this will bring them undone in the end. I think investigators will target 2 or 3 of their 2,000 grifts and just try and nail those.
Yeah, for most effect, definitely. Thank you. Sheila, what were you going to add there?
Well, you remember Vindman, the twin, Vindman, the one that was
the military twins.
Yeah, the military. Well, he just got taken out by a progressive. He's no longer the candidate. So we're making progress. Making progress.
I think he would have been good.
He was good, but he took a lot of money.
They've got the talent there. There'll be another job for Vindman.
Correct. I agree. I don't think he was a bad man whatsoever, or, he would have been a good representation of Democrat. But what's going on in this country is that movement of if you're taking PAC money, if you're doing this, we're putting progressives in, and a progressive, it seems like every time they do that, they win. So, the Democratic Party is making moves.
Wow.
In this whole thing. Well, the guy, the mayor of New York City has laid the foundation of literal evidence that it's going to work. So therefore, we're on board.
So excellent. Well, that's good to know. Well, here we are in the Dianne Minutes. At the moment, we have 2,476 of you watching us live. I want to say thank you so much for supporting the show. Please be sure, of course, to like and subscribe and share if you're not done so already, to help the channel grow. One thing I will say, though, my announcement, and as we know, we lost someone very important in the community. Yeah, we lost someone very important in the community, and some things have been quite controversial. Yeah, as many of you will know. Yeah, and of course, someone here was asking the question, and I thought I'd address it now. Of course, what about Dianne Aquarius? She's been in touch with me energetically. Yeah, been coming through very, very strong, and I have made a video, yeah, where I've really gone into it, but it's not on YouTube. It's not on YouTube. It's on Patreon. And I've really looked into things, and I was listening to the arguments, and Lady G, I've been watching you and your responses, and I think you're absolutely spot on, and I really respect what you've had to say, particularly with some of the stuff, shall we say, that has been thrown your way. But I also want to acknowledge as well certain things that have come to light of late, which I felt merited investigating, and I did. And what I would say is, I remember, because obviously we all knew Dianne, and of course Lady G, Lena, and we all collaborated with Dianne for really quite a long time, and we did get to know her quite well. And we've also, if we've not been speaking about things as much as you maybe would like, it's because we're trying to use restraint, and we're trying not to throw aspersions. And we also as well need to protect ourselves and our channels from things like libel and stuff like that. And Sheila, I really appreciate some of the private advice that you've given me on things. Sheila used to work in law enforcement, so I'm going to take her advice, when it comes to things like this. But I felt I had to speak. And what I've done is I've gone back to an old video where Dianne and I collaborated, and we read each other. So I actually did this for Lady G. And you remember when I was reading people's charts? And looking back now at that video, with the benefit of over 2,000 consultations later, I am seeing completely different things in that reading. And this is what this video is about. And I go there and I explore it, and I come up with some answers. I would love to share that with people, but I just can't. It's too sensitive, even for YouTube, and that's not a cop out, because unfortunately, guys, sometimes we do have to put things behind paywalls, particularly of some of the things of the gravitas that has come out. So, but I could feel Dianne's push so strong, and she was sending me all signs and signals. And after I did that video, I got this beautiful, I was walking through the park today. I had to go to Kew Gardens to meet some friends, and there were two butterflies, and they were in a dance like that, and they span so fast that they looked like a crown, and it was right next to me. So I feel like I've done the right thing. Also, as well, I want to say, I hope as well that we can also be respectful, of course, of each other and each other's platforms, no matter how strongly we may feel about things. I'm not going to mention any names, but I think we can also join the dots. And I would also want to kind of back up things that Lady G was saying, which is that all of our own platforms are sovereign. We all take personal and professional risks and reputational risks, bringing this content to everyone, usually, of course, for free. And I try and respect other people's platforms by not talking about them per se, because each individual platform host has their own understanding and their own gifts and their own knowledge. And I think when it comes to people throwing insults and stuff, I would say it's unfortunate, but I can also understand the gravitas and the passion. And there were some valid arguments there, which I've investigated. So if anyone wants to find out what that stuff is, if you look in the video description, so just click on the video description, there is a link there. It's $5. Yeah, it's you know, I'm not charging the earth or whatever. It's not about the money. It's about putting that protection in there because we need to protect ourselves. But Diana was coming through loud and strong, and I would say this is the most profound reading I've ever done, and it was like, oh my God. So I just wanted to leave that there. Ladies, do you want to add anything to that before we go? Maybe Lady G, Sheila, and then Lena.
Yep, no, I've said all I need to say on that subject. It's, you know, she's on the other side. She's quite happy there, healthy there, you know, with her family, her cats, and all of that. And so I'm leaving it there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sheila, what are your thoughts with Diane? And I know you've left a wonderful tribute for her as well.
My thoughts are always with our subscribers. Our subscribers, she helped a lot of people out there. And my love and my compassion and my, you know, condolences are to our subscribers who actually loved her and listened to her and had a relationship as we do on YouTube. So my condolences and my thoughts always go to our subscribers, and that's where our value, the value comes through.
Yes, thank you. Lena, your thoughts?
No, I think the others said it so well. Thank you, that we all respect our subscribers and viewers, and there is a relationship between us all. So let's hope it stays healthy, and we'll take it from there.
Indeed, because we're all a family, aren't we? At the end of the day, we're all a family, and we're all connected, and everyone watches everyone else, some more so than others, but I think there's the love there, and I'm sure we'll all be able to move on. But for Diane, rest in peace. Of course, you're with us in our thoughts and minds, and my God, I've been thinking about her a lot. And I'm realizing, like, wow, you know, she was a very significant person in my life. So big love, Diane, and rest in peace. Ladies, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us this evening.
Everybody.
I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you, everyone. Who's on next week? Of course, I've got to say.
On next week.
Sorry, I reshuffled my papers. You know what I'm like, so analog.
I think I might be off next week. I'm not sure.
I think so. It's yes, Selena, you're off next week, and it should be Susan Lynn. I wrote to her a couple of weeks ago. She's probably responded to me, but everything's been up in the air. So fingers crossed it's Susan Lynn. Susan Lynn, if you're watching, I'll be writing you back after the show. But I asked her weeks ago. Right. Thank you, everyone. All right. We will leave it there, and we will see you soon. All right. Big love, everyone. Mwah! And bye-bye for now. Cheers.
Ciao, guys.
Bye-bye. Cheers.